Guys, I am so sorry for running behind. That is totally on me. I know this 345 and we said we are gonna tee off here, but you guys mind if I throw a couple to get loose? Not trying to get some injuries out here. Thank y'all. Just need to throw these on backhand, forehand, and rollers, and then I'll be nice and stretched out for this casual round. Just take like 30 minutes, I'll be good. What is up, YouTube fam? Robbie C here. Today we are in the home studio and not out on the course because we tested positive for COVID this week, and I want to make sure that we have a video out for you guys while I head off to Charleston for the Creators Cup this upcoming weekend. If you ever find yourself in the Birmingham area, one day a week I work at our local shop, Dynamic Discs Iron City. And I found lately that I keep recommending a certain type of disc to people because it opens up a certain type of shot for their game. So I thought, why not make a video on it? This type of disc has gained a ton of traction recently, with Innova releasing 2 different molds in this style and their halo plastic. We're talking about lids. These are PDGA approved discs, but if you feel them or look at the rim of them, you're going to notice that it is drastically different than a traditional disc golf disc. So yeah, these discs feel differently, but you may be asking, Mr. YouTube man, how does that type of disc add a different type of shot to my game? And that's where I want to give you an exercise that you can do with these types of discs, so hopefully you open up options in your game. So my first question for today's video is, how do you warm up when you get to the course? Most often, I find that when people step up to a course, they're going to take a large stack of discs onto hole 1 or an open spot near hole 1, and they're just going to launch an array of discs out into the field. The 2 biggest problems I see with this are time and space. Often we don't have enough time to work our arm up into that max distance power shot, and often you don't have the space, or what if the course happens to be crowded that day? And that's where discs like today's come in really handy. I want you to take that disc and play catch with your friend. Start out at 15 or 20 feet and then slowly move further and further apart. You're just simply going to be tossing the disc back and forth to one another. Also, don't just throw the disc one way. Try it on some backhand hyzers, try it on some anhyzers, maybe even some forehands if you're trying to be crazy. Just experiment with the disc. The goal of this exercise is to see how simple it is to throw the disc to your friend when you simply turn your brain off and throw it to him. What you're going to notice is that your arm actually gets pretty loose in just this casual game of catch, and you'll eliminate the need to throw so many shots off of the tee on the first hole or just warming up in general. Which takes us to the first of 2 challenges for this video. My challenge for you is to acquire a lid-like disc or just a putter in general that you're going to use for this catch exercise. You're not going to take this putter and put it in your bag. It is simply going to stay in your car for warm-up purposes only. Then, on the 11th time, I want you to take that disc and put it in your bag. When you find yourself out on the course and you're about 50 to 80 feet away from the basket, further than your normal putt would allow you to comfortably get there, I want you to imagine that the basket is your friend that you played catch with to warm up, and simply throw it to him. I have found one of the beauties of this shot is that I can give a healthy run to the basket without ever feeling like I'm sacrificing the hole or really throwing it way too far past. These types of discs just simply float to the basket with this nose-up approach and have a chance to go in without sacrificing going so far past the basket that I'm never gonna make the putt. And the best part is, if you don't like polecats or sonics, there are a variety of options that you can use to try and get this slot or shot into your bag. Discraft has the Rattler, which will make all of you Ultimate fans out there feel really solid about yourself. Koi is a super floppy approach disc that really just wants to land right next to the basket. The Condor is a super class disc that feels just like a dinner plate, but also feels like you're throwing an Ultimate lid just as easily. Now, I released a Vlogmas video that talked about how to throw this type of shot, but the simple heart of this video is that learning to play catch with your friend actually teaches you a shot that can lower your scores while you're out there on the course. Quick side note, I know some of the haters and critics out there are gonna be like, well, Mr. YouTube man, I don't have any friends, so I can't play catch with anyone because I always play by myself. Well, first off, if you're not intentionally choosing that, I'm sorry that you don't have any friends, and I'll be your friend. And second, you can still play this catch exercise, just use a different object as your throwing object rather than a person. It's gonna require more walking, but you can use your bag just as equally. But here's the best part about this exercise. You don't just have to do it with a sonic or a pole polecat. You can try throwing all of your discs around your house or in the yard or even while you're out there in the field on a variety of angles. So often I will talk to players and say, oh, why is that onyx in your bag? And they will say that it is specifically in there because of this course and this hole. But when we limit the disc to that specific shot, we also limit our scoring options while we're out there on the course. Simon said it best, there are things these discs can do, shots and shapes that are so wild, but we need to get out there and find them. And the discs in your bag want to do more than you're letting them do. So my final challenge would be to go to a course and challenge yourself to play a creative shot round. What that means is that when you step up to every single tee shot during that round, or second and third shots on par 4s and 5s, if you've ever thrown a certain disc on that hole before, you aren't allowed to throw it that round. You need to try another disc on maybe a different line and see what possibilities exist. The reality is, they aren't all gonna be winners. Some shots are gonna be straight up bad. But I promise the more creative rounds you have, the more you're gonna find out that this disc actually can do this line pretty well, and you never would have known that if you just stuck with the same old of throwing the same disc on the same shot every single time till kingdom come. Personally, for me, I'm a fan of the polecat because it has a little more reliability in the wind versus the Sonic. But for those of you who throw lids out there, what's your favorite type of lid to throw? Using this approach to throwing my discs has taught me so many different options that are available for all the tools that I already had in my bag. Plus, being confident that I can make 20 footers coming back at the basket makes me even more excited for the possibility of a throw-in every single time I step up to a 100-foot shot. So I know this video is a little on the shorter side, but I still hope it's helpful. And I hope you have a blast getting to know your discs in hopefully a little bit of a different fashion. As always, I want to say thank you so much for watching. If it weren't for each of you, I wouldn't have even had the opportunity to go to an event like Creators Cup this weekend. I'm super pumped for all the content that's going to come out, and I'm hoping to do you guys proud as we go out there and hopefully bring home that trophy. As always, I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you have an amazing rest of the week. But for now, I'm going to leave you with the birdie.